to 25 years ago, the economic advantage of a company, economic competitiveness, was dependent on four things basically. They tended to group them into four. And the order of the four was your natural resources of a country. Second would come capital. Third would come technology. And fourth would come human resources, or the people. Probably went back hundreds and hundreds of years in that, with that formula operating. In a short period of time, this is now, to be economically competitive in the 21st century. Look what has happened. It is now number one, human resources, people. The brains of your people. The ability of your people to keep you ahead. What comes in two? Technology. What comes in three? Surprising to many financial people, but capital. And what comes in last? Natural resources, which used to be first. This is such a change in what not just countries, businesses, but individuals need to realize. That what is it that I have to sell? If you found oil on your property, it still has value. That's a natural resource that you happen to own, but the chances of that happening are pretty slim. So what do you as an individual, let's just take the individual first. Your ability to learn and relearn is going to distinguish you, is going to move you along in a company, or, as many are doing in the United States of America, if you're going to go into entrepreneurship and start your own business, whatever that business may be, one thing only gives you the competitive edge, your brain. So tuning up that brain, making that brain capable, keeping it in shape. You would not go into certain fields like becoming a professional skier or acrobat or whatever if you didn't keep your body in prime shape. Well, the world today is like a world of mental acrobats or mental skiers, in that they're getting sharper, better, and the world is getting far more competitive. And they recognize that the competitiveness is the minds of its people. The United States of America has had a little difficulty making that shift. So it's not going to come from the government doing it for you. And it's certainly not going to come, in my estimation, from the school system doing it for you. They tend to lag behind, believe it or not. I may be criticized for that, but every bit of evidence I have indicates that is so. So it's going to fall more and more back on the individual to see to it that you give yourself that competitive edge. Can you do it? Absolutely, positively. The newest knowledge coming out of neuroscience and psychology is, we didn't believe you could do it before, or that it would be extremely difficult. The new knowledge, the new 21st century knowledge in those sciences, you can absolutely do it. The brain wants to do it. You just simply have to give it the things it needs to get this accomplished. So if you're going to become an entrepreneur, you can't train your brain specifically to have the intelligences or the cognitive skills and tools of the brain that you need to use in your present, say, day of making films or doing something, because what's going to happen, as we all know, that the world is changing so fast that the tools that you just learned that you're going to be using are going to change in 3 to 5 years. Just take anyone's computer. Where is it in 3 to 5 years? Where are those programs? The introduction of knowledge on the internet is a mushroom cloud of explosion of information. No one can keep up with it all. So what we have to keep up with is not content. Content will quickly become old and stale and non-usable, just like your old computer. But what will never become old and non-usable is if you tune this brain up so that no matter what you introduce to it, its tools, the process of learning and relearning is what it learned, not just the content. And when our schools learn that, our country learns that, and we as individuals each learn that, then we're going to become competitive in this world where human resources are really the brains, are the number one weapon in the 21st century to compete, whether it be in a company, on your own as an entrepreneur, or in any other facet that you want to go into. Remember, every one of those other brains out there competing with you also have the capability, if they know where to get the tools, of going out there and improving that ability. So it's going to become competitive.